Wagwan. Just done the Wim Hof breathing like normal. Obviously, man's out here with the Volvic and the grounding. So I actually have no idea what I was gonna do this video as. So yeah, it is on a whim, yeah. But I mean, I had bare topics in mind, and it's all basically holistically the same fucking topic. So without further ado, yeah, let's start chatting some business. Oh yeah, I know I started this on a whim, but the ideas and the vision for what I'm going to execute on and what you're going to witness unfold, etc., is super actualizing, and you better stay fucking tuned because you gotta know about it. Alright, so let's just do a bit of a holistic update, yeah. Well, actually, to be fair, I was gonna say, quick point, yeah, let me just make it clear, this is real medicine, bro. Doing breath work out here, grounding, getting sunlight. I don't understand, like, there's so much fear around the sun in the West, but allow that. And then alkaline diet for the most part. Your cognitive, your mental state, your mental health. Like, I'm pretty sure I manifested like a physical disorder once, nearly. Like for a while, it was, long story short, I needed to go to the toilet all of the time, and it really fucked my life up. But I'm pretty sure it was just because I was like going through some mad anxiety, because my life was kind of all over the place at the time, I can't lie. But yeah, like the way you think about everything, and your beliefs as well, this is also a part of medicine, long story short. Like these crystals, yeah, I don't know like if scientifically or fundamentally, but when you take into consideration like Bruce Lipton and Dr. Joe Dispenza and like Leo Guru, etc., or just Terence McKenna, like, but not even just that, it's just what I learned from a friend who gifted me, I think she actually gifted me at least this one, but basically she chooses to believe in it because of like the placebo. The placebo is a very deep field of research, I believe, so it's probably wise, go and check that out. I haven't done, but I've just heard an awful lot about it, and I can imagine. So essentially you choose to believe in it, and it's almost a gift and a curse, because when you don't have them, you are like, oh shit, I ain't got them. So, but when you do got them, it's weird, because I've actually trained myself to do that now, and now it's a behavior pattern, which if anything kind of proves neuroplasticity. Like, because I was quickly be able to, like, it's just easy. I just started carrying them around, and when I have them with me, I just like, each one has like an affirmation, like this, I would assign each one, like, if I have this, then I'm this. Basically, if you walk around and you tell yourself that this, whatever it is you got on you, some like sentimental object, and you're like, and you say to yourself, and you actually kind of convince yourself on purpose that this object will make you better in combat, it will make your posture better, it will make you more confident. Just holding them and believing that that's what they're doing in real time, it basically just creates it from the ground up, and you can experience this. It's probably actually quite underrated, but there's that anyway, crystals. I think I've done a whole video on them before, so let's not get, but anyway, yeah, there's holistic healing. But what am I talking about? This video is not very structured, but wait and see what's, I've been on about it for a minute, yeah, but it's very vague. I keep saying something's about to change in the future. It's just, I know there's a lot coming, that's all I know. I've come to realize that I'm super aspirational, and this is very tied to happiness. Check out Leo Guru's episode on happiness. I've come to understand, just get this right, separate point, I don't know what the fuck I was saying, allow me if I'm just schizophrenic and you can't, and I'm not fucking following up my shit. I'll get better. I'm gonna start distilling shit down and making proper better episodes. I've got quite a bit of work ahead of me, but I've got to get to it. I've got to hurry up. But we'll see. I just got to keep doing these talks. So there's a few insights I want to deliver quick time. So what was I about to say? Oh yeah, so with the happiness, long story short, yeah, it's basically, it's like Hamza's approach to happiness. There's so much wisdom in this. With the spirituality, a lot of it, like Inspector Veg is saying to me, he's like, a lot of the spirituality is just delusional, bruv. And he was the one who fucking made me, he sent me the Tao Te Ching for the first time. And the first time I listened to that, I fucking cried. So he's all into the spiritual stuff. But there's an aspect to the spirituality that is just like, it's so groundless and not practical, even though it is practical. It's like the pinnacle of pragmatism, but grounded personal development is very refreshing, because sometimes you're listening to these spiritual teachers and you're like, oh my god, man, shut the fuck up. But not that it's not to shoot the messenger, but it's more like, it's so strange, loopy, bro. Like when you're trying to like awaken, and there's so many different dimensions to awakening. That's the thing as well, because like like Buddhism, like that's one facet of awakening, bro, but that's not it. Like, you know, awakening isn't simply no self. Wow, that's not the pinnacle. Like, that's like some Buddhist thing, and I get that. But then there's like dual multiplicity, DMT, fucking aliens and shit, and like that. Trust me, there's much different degrees. There's different facets of awakening. Again, Leo Guru, actualize.org, he's got like, yeah, I think it's like 50 different facets of awakening. This video is, or 40. But yeah, so Hamza's approach to happiness is long story short, yeah, if you take care of yourself, you're gonna have creating circumstances to be happy. The way he says it is, you deserve to feel like shit if you do the bad habits. I don't know why it took so long to clock this. This was my old mode, like just naturally, and this is most people's understanding of personal development, likely. But like at the same time, people just actually don't really clock it. Get this into your fucking brain. You need to understand this. Do you understand that if you actually took action on your diet and like made it better, or just other aspects of your life, taking cold showers, on your posture, journaling, just like learning, just doing in general, there's things that you do, like, but the thing is, it's so boring talking about this in a way, and because when I first started my channel, I was going through a phase. It was like this kind of what they call like the personal development depression, where it's like you hear messages of this nature that say, work on yourself, otherwise you'll regret it, and you know, you only live once, supposedly, and you know, don't waste your time. You better hustle and earn that money, otherwise you're just a Jeffrey. You got to be like Adonis, and you got to seek discomfort and shit. And right, so then I hear about that, and at first I'm like, I assume that I don't want it, like that the option of the junk food and the path of least resistance is the like what I'd rather do. As everyone says, like, you know, you'd rather eat the junk food, but like you've got to discipline yourself to eat the good food. But there's something about that, yeah. But at the same time, that's almost the wrong approach. Actually, you got to like reprogram your mind. This is what you'll learn with trial and error. Check out actualize.org, Burning Through Karma. In that episode, if I distill it quick time, it's like, if you, instead of like lecturing the child, you should not eat sugar, basically you let the child go through the process of learning that sugar is just not wise, and then when you burn through the karma, so to speak, or deal with that and get it out of your system somewhat, you can then move on. He says that he was stuck on, he really wanted an intimate relationship. And he feels like, you know, there are certain things, yeah, when you take into account, like, the happiness episode I referred to, and just happiness in general, and aspirations, it's like, you know, Buddhism says all suffering is ultimately grasping of the mind, clinging of the mind. And there's like these 4 noble truths, which I can't regurgitate immediately to you right now on a whim, but it's something along the lines of, but the cause of suffering is clinging of the mind. Therefore, don't cling with the mind, and then liberation. But at the same time, like, there's something about awakening that, or spirituality, deep spirituality, like non-dualism, Buddhism, deep psychedelia, it kind of shatters the illusion. And then when you get on the other side and you've shattered the illusion, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, the illusion was Like, because why do you think, because you're alive to kind of play the human game, like this is, so if, like when we're talking on like, because I see how me pursuing a political stance and agenda, I'm just part of the yin and yang, this ego. So when I'm like fighting, it's like how Alan Watts talks about how you need enemies to understand yourself. It's cops and robbers, yin and yang. So like when I'm pursuing these like agendas, like it's so fun that I'd almost rather just get lost in pursuing the agendas of history. And it's basically, I think well, I don't think, I kind of know in a sense, we do live in a movie in a sense, or a video game, and it has a plot. And you'll realise this with time, whether that's divine timing, synchronicity, or awakenings. Like, what do you think this is? How deep do you think it goes? I've been saying this for a while. But it's hot out here. But yeah, awakening basically, like you can have a solipsism awakening or whatever, potentially, or so it seems to you, subjectively, quote unquote. And then when you do that, it's like all you want to do is go back. I had a seemingly like a solipsism breakthrough on 12 grams of Liberty cap psilocybin and magic mushrooms out in nature with some cannabis, and yeah, it's all self and other collapse, and I fully like embodied the world was my true self. There was no like, it's like the world was my body. There was no like, it's like the mind is so strong it literally creates like physical distinctions. It's so weird, and you can really just like turn the mind off if you just fucking walk. Like Leo Gura describes a deep psychedelic trip as a sledgehammer to the skull, and they completely reset you. You just wake up completely reborn. But yeah, I went off on a tangent, but what I was saying with the personal development is basically you have to, with the burning through the karma, etc., is when I was saying when I first found the personal development, and what was so-called personal development depression, it's when you know you should be taking action on the things that you know you should be taking action on, but you still pursue the bad habits, almost because I think you subconsciously assume. But this is quite, like, get this, I don't think many people have actually spoke, I mean, I'm sure people have, but it's like, if you assume that the bad habits are so bad by thinking about a mental image of doing yoga, and you're like, oh, fuck that, then you're obviously going to assume that you'd rather just, like, eat sugar and watch TV. But at the same time, like when you actually like, have enough experience to understand how things work and understand yourself better, you ultimately learn that a lot of these so-called bad habits, like, they're not even desirable because they're actually just a very unwise pursuit, and you've learned your lesson. It happens over time. You get burned enough. Get this, if you're stuck in the personal development thing, yeah, where it really crushes your soul when you're not actualizing. Because I was really deep in that, man. It's like you're trapped in wage slavery, and it's like, oh my god, the only thing that's going to get me out of this mess is myself, bro. And then you sit there and you just keep eating the junk food, and you keep just wasting time watching TV and watching porn and shit. And it's like you're so this is what I was saying, is I've come to understand that happiness is directly tied with your strength and your health, and like it's like the spirituality. They'll go, oh, just let go. Like, I get it, let go, right, I get it. Like, Alan Watts can be very much like this. But at the same time, think this, Leah. Like why would I fucking incarnate into this survival matrix if I was just meant to let go? So you can let go, yeah. There is, like, basically, you can spiritually bypass any crisis, in a sense. But, like, the spiritual bypass is just like, it's like a cheat code, basically. And then the game kind of loses the meaning of the dance. No, not really, not inherently. I'm sure that's not actually inherently the case, but I just mean, like, just don't forget grounded development. Like, so yeah, so you have survival literally built into your physique, and then, so like, to what extent can you let go? Until when? You actually can. You can, like, metaphysically let go, but it literally will take, like, 10 grams of mushrooms and loads of breath work and a lot of experience, and then you'll let go. But you won't let go now, because Alan Watts speaks of it like it's almost as if we walk around with tension because we're scared that we'll fall apart if we don't hold it all together. But like, obviously, he says, like, when you were born, you were kicked off a precipice, so everything's falling apart. So there's this jumper that I have by a personal development YouTuber that I like called Better Ideas, and he made a brand called Inaction is a Slow Death, with a little movie trailer for that brand. So I sent that to my friend, like, he was just playing PlayStation, and I sent him a message on Instagram after looking at his story, ironically, and I said, "Inaction is a slow death," I sent to him. As I sent that, I realised I'm just sat on the sofa on Instagram, which is kind of the pinnacle of inaction. So I'm still far from perfect. But then when I think about that phrase, what I was saying, tying in with everything else, is inaction is a slow death, but is action not, like, kind of a slower death? But it's a death worth having, because it, like, you know what I mean? Oh, no, but it might not be, though, because I have an intuition, yeah, that, like, what I've had to cultivate faith in a lot of different ways so that my soul doesn't get crushed by this fucking place. So I fucking, something that comes with faith and understanding anything's possible, really opening my mind a lot, having deep psychedelic trips and doing a lot of breath work and healing in general, just getting a lot better with myself, getting a lot more self-actualized. I literally have no idea what I was saying. I think I need to just improve my videos, bro, and get a bit more prepared before I shoot them. I know vaguely, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll end it. Sorry about that. Yeah, don't know. Maybe that's a reflection of my mind. Maybe I need to fucking get a bit more still. I rarely meditate, to be fair. But I need to get out of this sun, bro. I've been in here too long. But yeah, basically, long story short, the end is near. Sort your shit out before it's too late. Self-love is the key to healing, the base of healing. There's only two choices, love or fear. You pick one. Have you ever created a video or something, or a music, and then you sometimes you look at it and you think it's cringe, or maybe you love it. So there's often two different modes. Little Darky has a lyric, he goes, "The cycle of creating and hating the shit I make. Oh, I wish my ego would permanently disintegrate." And long story short, yeah, I just clocked. When I look at my content, I mean, to be fair, fear is grounded. It does have a reason. But basically, if you ever go through that pattern, understand that you're looking at it in love or you're looking at it in fear. And that is the truth. I just saw that, that's all. When I was thinking about, because sometimes I am like, with a lot of my videos, like, don't think I'm not, like, hesitant about, like, some of the shit I said in the past and stuff, man. Like, it's been a rocky fucking road. I've just been documenting my life for like 2 years, and it's not been great. So it's been a bit tricky. Done a lot of videos while, like, raving on psychedelics and that. So often there's, like, I don't want to watch some of my videos, but when I go back, it's so useful, because I realise some of the stuff I went through in the past. Just like, I'm like mad, because I've documented. I've had a YouTube channel for like 12 years. This channel on YouTube, check. I deleted my other one, but look, I've got to get the fuck out of here. Alright, I love you. I know, I'm sorry this video is shit. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking transform it, because obviously this form of content is not going to get me very far, is it? For fuck's sake. So it's about time. I think I'm going to just decide now that there's not really much room to just talk on a whim. Maybe it's because I had a bit of a smoke earlier. But yeah, I think I best suit up a bit for the videos and get prepared a bit more. And I think that'll be wise. And that should hopefully propel. I'm working with Conscious Rapper Community now. He's on Instagram and SoundCloud so far. That's Michael D'Souza who runs that account. I'm working on a lot of social medias and some reels on that. I'll make you a free lyric video, bruv. Reach out to man. I'll literally make you a free lyric video because I can. It won't even take that long, bruv. Just send me the lyrics. Tell me what you want to see. Send me the song. Make it for free. Or don't. I've got to get good on my physique. Man's exercising a lot more consistently. I got on a lot more supplements these days. Lion's mane, reishi. This is what I want to. I want to go into a phase of taking a lot more action. I'm like strictly invested in investing in my future. That's how I feel at the minute, because it seems to be the only thing that really brings me happiness. That's what I was saying holistically, kind of earlier. Is that I'm a lot more happier when I'm executing on my mission, or like a purpose. I kind of create meaning, and it relieves the pain of existence. Or just, you know, find something that you enjoy and just pursue it more. Find a way, you know. It's ultimately about living the good life. That's what we want. But right now, I reckon there's a lot of stuff that's going to be shifting in culture. I understand how it's kind of hard to make moves for a lot of people, but I'll tell you, just the main thing is, yeah, turn your attention inward and question everything your mind fucking says, and understand that your mind is going to try and bring excuses. Slow down and just learn. Just fucking learn, alright? When you're younger, stop stressing about the personal development so much. But really, I mean some of the main things is really the main thing is your food. It's really your body. Just take care of the physical. That is the main bit of advice, really. Get on the fucking health. Who cares if they think it's cringe because I'm not wearing shoes, brother? I'm literally, they don't understand. No one does this, so I'm instantly above the whole. Well, not in it, obviously, but so most men are so fucking weak now, including myself. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not perfect. I've made bad decisions. And one of the bad decisions that linked with the happiness is I ate some chocolate the other day, and it literally whacked me up for like 2 days, and it literally made me depressed and shit. And I was like, and that's when I was already realizing, like, it's like, and Hamza speaks of it, it only takes 2 weeks, and it like, and spiritual people can like shun taking control, but nah, man, like, you gotta take control, you gotta be strong. Like, fuck off with the spiritual stuff. It depends, man, because most people aren't Ramana Maharshi, so we do need relationships, good places around us, nature, you know. We want to look good, obviously, but yeah, my phone's actually running out of storage. But yeah, it's about taking action, really, and I'm kind of sick of man who don't really take any action, and I'm not really, I can tell that I've gained a lot of momentum. That was my goal not long ago, and not long ago, it's like, you know, you can see I've been in some dark places in the past, man. So to be fair, if I could see this video back then, I'd probably be quite proud in a way, because I am proud. I'm not amazing, but just to finally have some self-love for myself, because I'm actually taking care of myself, and I don't hate my past self, because I invest in my future self, and then I thank my past self for being a good old boy, so that I can enjoy this moment, because I'm not cooked up on drugs and sugar. Love you.